Welcome, everybody, to AIW's The Card is Going to Change. Before we get this week's episode started, thanks to our sponsors at Pollyanna DIY, Angelo's Pizza, who keeps us fed, and they'll take care of you on Madison Avenue in Lakewood, Ohio. And, of course, to our streaming service, independentwrestling.tv. You can check out shows from our promotion and so much more there as well. And, might as well we'll throw Smart Mark Video in there, too, right? We like them.
I love them.
We love them. Even though I feel like we haven't seen Gary and Shannon in a while, but we still love Smart.
What's wrong with Robles, dude?
Yeah, I like Robles.
Trying to talk bad about Robles?
No, not at all. I like Robles very much. I just, we didn't get to wish DJ Gare Bear a happy birthday in person, and I'm waiting for him to spin more tracks at an after party one day. So
hopefully Dr. Dan gets a good one in Akron, I'll tell you that.
And DJ Gare Bear said he missed AIW very much, so I want to give him the personal shout out. At any rate, on this episode, you'll hear talking points from Dom Guarini, the Bone Collector, Alex Worldwide Keller, the man himself, the leader of Westomania and Berkeley Nation, Wes Barkley, as well as always, is AIW owner John Thorne. My name is Steve Guy, your moderator of sorts, and on this episode, I am going to try to help these guys navigate through what was Welcome to the Party, Pal, our final AIW show in 2018. And we start off, I guess, by saying we had a new venue, different venue.
New spot, Ohio Nuts.
For
Going down like a frown.
For a day.
Yeah.
How did the setup go, guys? Was that all right there?
Yeah, actually, I thought Worldwide is going to tap out on this one, as I've never seen Worldwide as so desolate at a ring setup. Usually for AIW ring crew, real pumped up, trying to help out with everything. And when I got there, Weird Body reported to me that Worldwide had not touched anything, and I knew that something was wrong, so I just kind of let Worldwide be to himself.
Now, we did kind of talk about this and allude to that on previous episodes here and talk about Hell on Earth. What was going on this day, Worldwide?
I don't know, the fucking holidays, fucking brother died, family shit, fucking having the titles, fucking some girl, that I'd been seeing over the course of the year broke it off with me. It was just a perfect storm.
You break up with girls a lot, though.
Yeah.
And then
What?
You break up with girls a lot, though.
This one I was with for a good long time. And
How long is a long time?
we're saying 8 months.
No.
8 months?
Faithful?
I mean, we were never official.
Oh, is it?
Wheeling and
Exactly.
dealing, brother.
We were never official, but I wanted it official. It was me being yo, let's do this. And I thought we were making moves in that direction.
You were
and
ready to pull the trigger.
Then, I was trying to pull the trigger, but fucking drawing blanks. But either way, so I was dealing with that. And, yeah, and then on top of that, I hadn't been able to go to the gym because I'd fucked my back up after going out to Milwaukee for my brother's funeral shit and da-da-da-da-da. So yeah, I was not in
Was
a
she
good place for this thing.
did she break it off with you because you became a pro wrestling tag team champion and she was just scared of all the fame headed your way?
Oh, not in the least. I was I was on Saw sabbatical the month before, and then the month before that I had started to get the vibe she'd been kind of more and more distant, and so I was halfway through the Saw sabbatical and I was like, hey, just kind of laid cards on the line, shot her a text. It was we haven't really talked in a while, and I'm sober for another week and a half, so it'd probably be now best to tell me what the deal is, and because I'll have 10 days to figure it out. And she told me, and I was just that hurts. And then the shit with my brother happened, and then this and that.
You want to get into it or no?
All right. My brother Will, he's 2 years younger than me. Died a week before his 32nd birthday. He, I don't know, he's just had problems for years. By the time he was 29, he had cirrhosis of the liver and hepatitis C and all this other shit. And was still drinking, even though he was supposed to get a new liver at some point. But obviously, they're not going to give him a new liver if he's fucking drinking all the time.
Right.
And as bad as I am, this motherfucker was just would have a fucking bottle of whiskey a day, and he'd just go back and forth between the whiskey and the fucking Powerade, because in his mind he thought that was okay. Had no teeth left in his fucking head, and living with my dad the whole time. Never moved out of my dad's house, which is a whole other thing. And just anyone out there dealing with an addict, just know that enabling people is every bit as addicting as like the fucking addiction itself. But you can't tell my dad that. But
No, I mean, I agree. I've had similar situations in my family.
Yeah.
yeah, and fucking people are just gonna give people a million chances and just deny what's going on. And yeah, going through the house after, like, I was like fucking like, I'm not a big hand washer, which is kind of fucked up because I'm kind of a big handshaker. And but no, show days I'm on my game, so don't worry, brothers. But either way, I was like fucking like every like 45 minutes like going through that house, like washing my hands up to my goddamn elbows, because like I'd find like some new hiding spot for like fucking syringes and shit, which I didn't think it was that bad. I just always assumed it was like pills and alcohol.
Yeah.
And it was definitely like past that point. And it sucks, but he'd been like lost for a really fucking long time. And yeah, he finally just like OD'd, and yeah, eventually we were like, yeah, he's probably brain dead, and da-da-da-da. Pulled it, and then 5 hours later, yellow-ass dead person.
Yeah.
Fucking, so, yeah, that was a thing. And, but, yeah, so that was, like, weighing on me, and then, like, my mom just moved back, like, to Toledo from California. So I went from, like, having no family around for holidays to, like, having family around for holidays, and that somehow fucked me up. Like, different than being away from family. And like, yeah, just everything was like just like in this fucking, oh yeah, and then like I had like a weird 4 a.m. argument with like my youngest brother, like came to town for like a couple of days on Christmas, and fucking Inoki slapped the shit out of him on my back porch, fucking, because I wasn't ready to give him a hug or something. I don't know. It's been a whole thing, but we're cool now. He's tanning and shaving and his whole body, even though he doesn't wrestle, and that's confusing. But yeah,
you got a complicated life, man.
Yeah.
Fucking complicated lives.
I have a question for you, Worldwide. What is the status of the Jurassic Park toys?
Sold them.
Did you make as much money as you thought you would?
Oh hell no. All right, here's the deal. Here's the story on the fucking Jurassic Park stories. All right, back in 1993, the Jurassic Park film came out in theaters. My dad had this grand idea where he was like, my kids fucked up all the goddamn original Star Wars toys I had playing with them being children. So in 1993, movie comes out, he bought all the toys, like
The whole line.
fucking happened. Kept them in box, mint in box, for fucking like 25 plus years. And then like, I don't know, he finally like kind of took them out a little bit because like my brother was going to try to sell them, and my brother never got around to it, which is surprising considering the habit and all that. But then also like with the amount of fucking shitty people going in and out of like my dad's house, like, and also like, I mean, like a few days after I fucking like left Milwaukee, like my dad's house got broken into, fucking probably by some junkies that knew Will was dead and fucking stole his fucking TV and stereo equipment and all this other shit. He had to put a bunch of bars up on the window, and he's trying to sell the place. So, whole thing.
That's messed up.
But, so either way, I was like, yeah, I'll take these fucking toys. And, because I don't want fucking them falling into like some shitty Milwaukee jerk-off's hands. And, so then I like went about looking around on eBay, this and that. And I was like, yeah, this is looking pretty good. And it like went from an estimate of like, oh man, I could make like $1,453 off these till like, all right, maybe $822. And then like finally looked at the quality and this and that. And then it was like down to like probably, I think I ended up making like about $350 off of them. Okay. Which isn't terrible.
That's not bad.
Still a profit.
And I was hoping I was going to have you reach out to some major brothers about
I did.
making a purchase, but you never got back to me after I told you to reach out.
There was no reply, so I guess there's no interest.
No reply. I guess brothers are full up on JP toys.
Well, there was a reply from Hawkins, and he said he was gonna take it to the broski, but I never heard back. So I don't know.
Well,
I just remember Worldwide coming to training and thinking that he was going to bankroll these toys into a Dodge Grand Caravan of some sort.
Just like
he was real excited, but
right.
I'm sorry to hear that didn't happen, but at least you got some money, Worldwide.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of
Caravan
money.
season.
Also, fucking Shortly after this show, I went to New Orleans because I said fuck it after my brother died and the other shit. So went back down there, didn't get pneumonia, and also cashed out all my stash apps. So I got to restart on the old.
Oh no!
Restart on the Mania savings.
Got to
But that's
re-diversify your portfolio.
Mania season
fucking
coming
fuck
up,
my
right?
portfolio. Stock market fucking sucks ass right now.
Oh, all right.
Like it's fucking worse and getting worse. We are like fucking swirling the drain.
Okay.
Buy a bunch of guns. That's all you gotta do.
Well,
but
So back
anyway,
to
yeah. So I was in a fucking dismal shit mood and like fucking was like just basically sleeping or like trying to sleep or like just chain smoking cigarettes inside the U-Haul and hiding from people and just was not a human being at this show. And it showed throughout the night. Like, I mean, at one point in time, I was just like fucking sitting down, like sort of head in my hands and fucking like Nick Gage was like, yo, bro, you doing all right? And I was like, not really, fucking. And he's like, all right, man, fucking just let me know. And like, then like I was like setting up the gimmick table, which I ignored that day because I like tried to be out there a little bit and like, I just could not deal with people at all. And like Cabana was walking around making his handshake train. He's like, hey, how's it going? How's it going? He was like, hey, Worldwide, how's it going? And I'm like, terrible. He's like, as it should be. And just kept on walking. I'm sure if he knew why I was terrible now, he'd feel a little bit worse about it, but maybe not. I don't know.
Probably.
he probably
Probably.
yes.
Love the Colt.
But
But yeah, I wasn't in a good place. And then on top
Showed.
of that, found out, actually, this was like, it was like good news, bad news. Because usually, you know, I like am aware of the card, like, you know, and the finishes, you know, a little bit in advance. Just some insider knowledge. And
I kept this one under wraps. This one was a coin
this
flip.
One, yeah, I think because you probably didn't know how I was going to react to it.
No, it was literally, it was down to the wire of like
Not knowing what the fuck was going to happen.
the day before of trying to figure out like where are we gonna go heading into WrestleMania weekend, and I was going back and forth on things, and I just went, Colin and Cheech are probably a safer bet.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know what I mean? And in the nicest way that I could say it.
No, I understand 100%. It would have been a hell of, like, you know, like just a weird thing to happen for us to win at the Mania show, but like as far as us defending,
And that's, you know,
they
and,
bring out the gimmicks, you know, like I said.
and it was like I was just going back and forth, and I'm just like, you know, we could do it a little longer, but it's like, you know, people are so sick of Colin and Cheech on top. I knew that it was going to get a good heel reaction, and you know that's what we needed. You know what I mean? And like
I said,
and as much as people are probably like, oh, like I'm sick of it, like that, it was the desired reaction.
So, before we even get into the full-on card, the venue leading up to things. I know we've covered venues multiple times here. Anything you want to discuss there, John, leading into this show week of, with terms of how things went?
It was, you know, like it was big enough for what we wanted, something big just in case. You know what I mean? There were some other
Right.
options that weren't big enough, and you know, obviously, you know, we ended up with, you know, between 500 and 600 people. So you know, a lot of some of these other places couldn't really accommodate that.
Right.
But you know, you never know. But the big thing is you know, they said that they were a non-profit organization, so they would be able to sell alcohol. That was the sticking point as to why we ultimately decided to go there. And then, you know, day of, we get the, oh, well, you know, they wanted us to get this special insurance and this and that, and I don't have it now, but, you know, if we do it again, sort of thing. And then, the other issue is like, you know, we get the pizza from Angela's Pizza, and the guy's like, well, we want to sell it. And I was like, well, you know, like, you have to give us something for it. And
Yeah.
he's like, I was like, why don't you give us money off of rent? He's like, well, you're getting a good deal already. And I'm like, oh, I could get a better deal. I've already found better deals. You know what I mean? Like,
we just wouldn't have gotten the pizza then.
and it turns into this big thing, and the guy's ducking me and stuff, and then
Yeah, he left for like a couple hours.
yeah, and then like I had to leave to get to the after party because that's also a sponsored thing, and it's like it's kind of like one of those things like I know we're bouncing around, but it's like if I'm hanging around the venue, like more people are hanging around the venue. But if I'm like I'm going to the after party, not like putting myself over, but like if I'm going to the after party, like more people are going to head in that direction, and it's a sponsored gig. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm going to the fucking after party. I'm not gonna sit and argue with this guy about the pizza.
Right.
I told Dan to handle it because Dan was kind of also a contact guy, and like. The guy's like, "Oh, tell him to call me," and it's like, "I'm not fucking calling this guy."
We'll be in
Whatever.
touch.
Well, we also had
and it's like, and that's kind of the thing. It's like, you fucking probably made a ton of money. The rental was more than we've paid for rental.
We also had a cost increase due to chairs, right?
Right. So it's like, if you really want my business back, give me some money for the fucking
Right.
pizza. And you're gonna get the long term, but if you're gonna like nickel and dime me, like I
Off
don't
rip, yeah.
like. I'm gonna be done. I'm gonna be done with it, and that's kind of where it's at. I didn't fucking call the guy because it's like, okay, it's December 28th. I'm gonna recover from the show, and then we're going into New Year's Eve and all this other shit. And it's like, like what? It's just not worth. It's not worth the time. But anyway, the alcohol thing really pissed me off
Bait and switch.
because.
Dude was that dude was running and gunning. He was trying to get those Dippin' Dots sold to people. I'm like,
He's trying to get
is
people
there
to play the
beer
claw
or no?
machines.
Forgot there was Dippin'
yeah, the
Dots.
claw machine. Is there beer going on or no? And he's ducking the whole day.
No beer.
So I guess you get to this other point about sheets. They probably made a killing. So next time,
Well, right.
Right.
And that's the thing. So people just want to, like, obviously don't have a venue that's right next to Sheets, a very
Right.
popular food establishment amongst our demographic of fans.
Sure.
Yeah.
Intermission, the fucking Sheets line was wrapped around the building, you know what I mean? Because people are buying beers, they're
That's where
smashing.
everybody went during intermission.
People
Yeah.
are smashing beers, and it was like, you would have
missed
had.
out. Yeah,
Like, I told the guy, I was like, dude, you would have made thousands of dollars tonight.
easily.
But anyway, so that's the whole thing.
So let's talk about the show itself.
Well, Masato Tanaka,
That's where
obviously,
I wanted to start.
is a guy I've been trying to book him. Fuck, man, since
This is a dream, right?
I mean, it's a dream, but like I didn't officially start actually pursuing it till about June.
Okay.
And like I've been trying, and like much like the contracted things that we are going on. Like he's contracted to an office, so it's like his company 01 has to approve it, and like there's all sorts of kind of red tape that you got to go through. And like finally, you know what I mean? Like we were able to get it done, and it's I thought that he would speak more English, like
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much none.
and he arrived, and I went to go get him, and they lost his bags, and like the airline is calling me because he had my phone number as a point of contact, and like I'm trying to work it out, and like he so finally, like you can't get out of your car at the fucking pickup or whatever at the airport baggage claim, but I just I parked I just got out of my car and I went in and I found him, and he's like trying to talk to like the airline people, and like
Yeah.
he's like, "Oh, nice to meet you," and like I'm just trying to explain it to him, and like he doesn't understand that like we're just gonna leave and get your bag later, and I bought him some alcohol, like because the
So
Japanese,
gift basket.
Yeah.
and just like I did with Ultimo Dragon,
Right.
and I gave it to him, and he said, "Oh, no," and like I was like, "Do you want food?" And he said, "Protein bar." And I was like, "Do you want a steak?" He's like, "Protein bar, Monster Energy." That's all I said.
Okay.
And I took him to Sheets, and like he loaded up on protein bars and like all these weird monster, like he was getting like the monster like juice flavors and stuff,
Oh, wow.
And he was like so excited. They must not have it in Japan or something. He was like, oh, like he was very excited about that. And then took him into his room. I gave him the alcohol. I gave him some Christmas ales and like some whiskey and stuff. And he's like, "Oh no, I don't do alcohol." Which I've seen him, like I was doing some research. I saw him drinking some alcohol on social media, but like maybe he thought I was kill him or something. I don't know.
Right.
And then like he added me on Facebook so we could communicate. And I like looked on his Facebook, and he's like, "Promoter gives me alcohol gifts. I think I'd die if I drink." And so I was like, guess he didn't want it.
Yeah.
He ended up leaving it in my car, so Swoggle made off with it.
Because he needs more things.
Yeah, he ended up making off with it. But,
Also, he does not do well with whiskey.
well, that's what he took too. He took the whiskey.
Well, he's not. That's not our problem to deal with. He
Back
takes
to
it home.
Back to Oshkosh. But,
that's for Oshkosh's problem.
But also, Masato was super cool. Like
Didn't
very
speak much, but very nice.
very nice and respectful. Like I expected him to be like more grizzled. You know what I mean? Like a Japanese star like that.
Did you expect him to be as in? I mean, I'm sure.
Oh
Obviously
yeah, I knew he's gotten jacked up. But
sure.
like, I just expect him to be like a little rougher around the edges. He was just nice and respectful and soft spoken, and he was great.
Yeah, he was real nice. So, quick kind of backstory then. You're booking him, and how do you determine how this matchup is going to go? Who it's going to be with? Was it immediately Nick Gage in mind, or did you have a couple ideas out there?
So the opponent and everything had to be pre-approved by the office. Nick Gage and Eddie Kingston were the two in the highest running, and I just thought that as much as Masato Tanaka does not wrestle the way that he did in America, like in the ECW era,
Right.
doesn't really wrestle like that anymore. But I thought that the kind of urban legend of how he wrestled in America on paper against Nick Gage was going to get a lot more attention than him. And Eddie Kingston would probably be the better pro wrestling matchup based on his style currently. But people don't really know that. You know what I mean? Like they know
Right.
Mike Awesome versus Masato Tanaka, like chaos. Sure. So I thought that Nick Gage was probably going to be the best option for the on paper, like announcement sort of thing. Like the graphic was going to get attention.
So we go into the card itself, lead things off with a guy who's kind of made a few appearances now here at AIW, Wheeler, Utah, taking on Lewis Linden. Lewis, the go-to vet for everything. Is this more of hey, I think I like this guy. Let's throw him in with Lewis, see how this goes?
Yeah, pretty much. And it's just like, Wheeler Yuta is a guy that's doing very well in a lot of other companies. And, he's just kind of not found his place in the AIW, like, so to speak. Like, he's doing well in, like, scrambles and different things, So it's like, this was kind of a more, like, I don't know, like modest card, so to speak, to where it's like Masato Tanaka was the big deal. So it's like there was different things that were going on. Like, I initially had like maybe the Jollyville Fuckets booked and they couldn't make it, and all sorts of different things kind of switched around. And I wound up with, these two guys kind of like there was so many different options, and I just went, let's just see, what Yuta can do in a singles, and I ended up kind of putting him over as like the shock value of the whole thing, just because I don't think anybody would have expected that.
I mean, it was definitely a good one to open up the show. People were very in tune with it the entire time and keeping their eyes on it. It was an awesome pairing, no doubt about it. The next one would crank up the fun real fast. Dr. Dan, Jock Sampson, Matt Warner. Am I missing anybody in that? Yes, and Ethan Page. Well, MJ, I was going to say him later. Set to take on an 8-man tag action.
You have a microphone.
Kikutaro and PB Smooth, Swoggle, and Colt Cabana. So we have that 8-man action. Then MJF comes out, we think, to save his dad.
Yeah, this is just a little fun segment. It's just, sometimes it's like like Colt Cabana is kind of a guy that has like an open AIW contract, so to speak, to where it's like I'll give him all the dates and then like he'll decide which ones he wants to do or he can do or whatever. And it's like he'll book up his schedule and then he'll be like, I have this one and this one, you know what I mean? So like he took this one a long time ago, and then you know, like through booking Masato Tanaka, he had asked if I could book Kikutaro, so like there was somebody there to, you know what I mean, like that speaks the language. So you know, that's how Kikutaro gets involved. And then
Justice.
You know, yeah, he's always saying justice. And you know, you kind of always like, so that's kind of how sometimes you wind up with guys. It's like not like, oh, you know, I'm booking this match and that's it. You know, it's like kind of like, oh, you know, Masato Tanaka wants Kikutaro to come in, so okay, Kikutaro's here. You know, Colt Cabana accepted the date like 4 months ago. You know, there's like no real plan. So then it's like kind of like a puzzle. You know what I mean? It's like shuffling things around. So I thought that this was like a fun pairing to put together. MJF was originally not going to be on the show because of his injury. Mm-hmm. He ends up, you know, he texted me, you know, I don't know, a few days before, and he says, you know, I'm feeling okay. I think I could do it. And I was like, you know, should I leave him off? Shouldn't I leave him off? And I was like, you know, I came up with, you know, this sort of plan, and
yeah,
you know,
so he
it evolved from there.
And then Space Monkey comes out there. We have a 5-on-5.
Big pop for the Space Monkey.
Big pop for the Space Monkey. And one of the funnest moments of the night, you see Colt Cabana and MJF looking quite like father and son. And I think that that quick clip is making its rounds on the internet right now. But of course, if you want to know what I'm talking about, then download the show from Smart Mark Video or pick it up on DVD. A lot of fun there in that 10-man tag match. Then we go to complete chaos when it comes to tag matches. Bobby Beverly, Eric Ryan, the Young Studs, Derek and Eddie Only from the production, plus Facade and Flip Kendrick as a team, and PME. And
this is AIW Tag Team Wrestling at its finest right here. Just like complete chaos. You know, like you said. And it's, you know, there's some veteran guys in there. There's some really young and hungry guys in there, and I thought it was a really good mix. You know, Derek and Eddie kind of really looked like a team for the first time. You know, ever. They were trying combos and doing tag moves, and you know, to where it's like, you know, the production is all kind of in disarray right now. But then, you know, those guys that go out and do that, and it's like, well, maybe the production's in disarray, but maybe these two guys can be whatever the fuck they are going forward. You know what I mean? Like, they were definitely, it was definitely kind of like sink or swim for them, so to speak, in the fact that they're kind of lost. The whole production is lost in the shuffle. You know, without Magnum CK, there's really nothing for Frankie Flynn right now. It's kind of like, now it's kind of like a wait and see, you know, and there was a spot for those guys to kind of, you know, sink or swim, and I thought that they did well. You know, obviously Flip Kendrick is always fucking unreal. Facade, it was his birthday, so you know that's how he got the booking. You know what I mean?
Hey,
like,
there you go.
It was his birthday. You know, so it's like that's another one of those puzzle pieces that you got to put together. But yeah, you know, it's a really fun match. I thought it was very good. You know, it's just kind of what you come to expect from these kind of 4-way tag fiascos.
And I may have the next two out of order, but I think this is how they go. Next we have Matthew Justice and KTB.
Yeah, I think that's correct.
And that's for the Intense title. The KTB, we talked about him when we talked about Hell on Earth. From the Woods. And these guys kind of brawl through the crowd. And another one with just complete chaos. Matthew Justice has put, and not that Tim Downs didn't have this, but, you know, and maybe that's the last three guys, really. You have the Intense title, and I think since Joey Janela, like, that's just what it's been. Joey Janela bringing intensity to it. Like, you don't know what to expect when we had the Intense title matches. Tim Don's kind of the same thing. Matthew Justice, more of the same with that, or potentially even trying to elevate what goes on in these Intense title matches.
Yeah, I mean, it's it gets pretty crazy. They brawl all throughout the Ohio nets. They're doing all kinds of crazy shit. I think there's like a back body drop on some steel bleachers or something. Brutal,
Yeah.
brutal. And they get really creative with using the walkway to the ring, and this is another one of those things where it's like this is kind of like, let's try out. Let's see what some of these newer guys that have come on the scene in the last 6 months, and like let's put them in singles matches and see how they do. This is another, just like Yuta, like Kyle the Beast, KTB has kind of come on. He's been doing really well. So it's let's give him a big singles match and see what happens. And I thought he's delivered pretty much every single time.
Oh yeah, I think people are wildly impressed with him, and I think they just like chanting from the woods.
Yeah, probably.
So we go to intermission. We roll back out from intermission, and then our next match, Dom, this is you, right? Then we go into the four-way. Dominic Guarini, Joshua Bishop, Eddie Kingston, and Zach Thomas. And this is kind of like a bigger match for, I think, Zach, in terms of what he's done in AIW thus far.
Yeah.
I mean, his whole career.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, let's be real. Zach hasn't really been in there with anybody like with the pedigree of Eddie Kingston. Oh, sorry. He hasn't been in there with anybody with the pedigree of Eddie Kingston. So to get that opportunity, of course, and then to mix it up with Josh, who's one of the top students to come out of the AIW school, and then I think it was a good experience for Zach for sure. I think he shined.
I don't know. I'm going to question that Josh is one of the top students of coming out of the AIW school after hearing his pitch to where he wants to just start vaping in the ring and blow vape smoke as like his finisher or something. Like, I don't know what's wrong with this boy. I don't know.
That's why I'm beating him up routinely.
Yeah, I don't know. Worldwide looks like he wants to comment on this.
I mean, I don't see it as a finish, but I think as a fun signature spot, he's got brother in the corner, blows a huge cloud on the chest, and then chops it. That could be a visual.
Why can't he just be like a big, beefy, young powerhouse pro wrestler?
Why can't he just be a Haas? Why does he have to do dumb shit? This is once again why I attack this young man at all costs.
That's what I was going to say. Once again, Dom Guarini and Joshua Bishop.
I'm kind of siding with Dom. There's not a brain in this fucking guy's head.
Well,
everybody
That's
bookmark
JB.
that, please.
may not be once Dom beats the hell out of him.
I mean, maybe I'm gonna beat the smarts into the kid.
Well, I guess that could.
I hope, man. I hope, because sometimes I think there's no hope. And stop stealing your dad's fucking monsters.
But you brawling to the back, to your point, does give Zach a great opportunity. We see quite a bit of Zach and Eddie Kingston one-on-one, and that gives him that. Last episode when we were talking about where are things on the independent circuit and the realm, and where do things stand, guys trying to learn from somebody, this is one of those moments that we're talking about. Zach Thomas hasn't been wrestling very long, very young, all sorts of talent, and there he is with an Eddie Kingston, a guy who's been going at it for years.
Yeah, exactly. And the lessons that Zach Thomas can learn from Eddie Kingston, at any time he gets in the ring with him are invaluable. Zach Thomas can come to practice, 20 days in a row, but nothing will make up for that in-ring experience with a veteran like Eddie Kingston.
Let's be honest. Has Zach Thomas been coming to training 20 days in a row?
I have not seen it in about 5 months.
Yeah. Okay, Zach Thomas. If you're listening out there, you better fucking show up.
20 days in a row would do you pretty well. Not the same as a match with Eddie Kingston, but
I think only maybe one kid right now has been a 20-day in a row kid.
Who is that?
Practice.
You want to give him props?
I will. TKD.
Yeah.
TKD, very consistent at training.
Not West KD.
West KD. Let me pull my Palm Pilot out here. Haven't seen West KD about as much as old Zach Thomas.
Yeah,
I heard
I've
what
been
I
running
heard.
and gunning, but 2019, no excuses. That's one of my.
Well, hey,
West KD said his roommate said that he's even ducking them. His roommate said he's even ducking them.
Wow, we've had about 6 practices so far in 2K19, and have not seen yet a single one yet. Wes.
West KD's roommates think that he's just ducking out and never coming back.
Oh man,
that's
Wow.
not true at all. I'm not.
There's
Going,
a lot of-
I'm not going nowhere.
Allegedly, Wes.
No, that's facts. What did I say wrong last time? I said I'm going nowhere. This time, I'm not going anywhere, Jack. Let me tell you something. Should we get to my match now? Because I had this New Year resolution.
No,
Let's get
we're
down to
way
brass tacks. I'm going to say something
you're
from
up.
experience
You're
here.
up.
Wes is a recently debuted young man, and
Thanks.
as someone that debuted and then maybe fell away from the training a little bit,
Yeah.
because you're training for that big moment, and then you're like, oh, I had the moment. Oh, there's more moments. All right, tight. I don't gotta go to training anymore. That's not the right idea. That's not the right attitude. It has not served me well, Wes.
I don't
I've been
relate.
running
I'm
and gunning.
sorry.
I was in Anchorage, Alaska. I was training for the Iditarod, all right? Just doing stuff like that.
I've always wanted to do the I did it right.
No.
Hey,
No,
come
you
with me.
aren't.
I'll meet you in March.
This is why you and Bishop get along, isn't it? 'Cause
JB, that's my guy.
Neither of you guys have a freaking.
I never
brain.
do a jewel pod, though. I've never done one of those. Or vape.
So
I've never
confirm
vaped.
out right now on the podcast.
Yeah.
Is Josh Bishop smoking Juul pods?
That's
What-
what he tweeted.
what's
he
a
said
Juul
he wanted
pod?
to vape it.
What is it? I don't even know.
It's the new jewels. You know what's
what
up,
the
right?
fuck are these things?
They're little things at gas stations. I've never done one.
Is it like hookah in a vape?
It's like a nicotine.
We're gonna bring in a
Nicotine?
trusted expert on this topic
Yeah.
worldwide.
I
Come
don't
on
know
in.
shit.
I'm
about it.
contemplating them for the month of February. If I can, since it's the shortest month, and my dad for Christmas asked for me to quit smoking for a month. And
I asked for you to quit smoking for your life.
what life, man? Come on, let's all be real here. Also, by the way, Christmas next year or your birthday, they're both very close. Figured out what me and Weird Bag are gonna get you. We're gonna get you some prescription swim goggles so that you can come over to my place more, and we can podcast over there more
Ooh.
This
to protect
reminds
your
me,
eyes.
More on your birthday in a
All right,
moment.
Juul pods are just basically it's like the new hip e-cigarette. Like there's like views, and the Juul it's like it looks like a little fucking
USB. It looks
yeah, it looks like,
a
a USB, and people are just hitting USBs.
Yeah.
And people are doing that shit, and like apparently that's what the kids are into. I don't
Yeah,
know. I'm gonna look
yeah.
into it because, like I said, I'm gonna try to
I don't condone jewel pods.
quit
or
smoking for the
jewels.
month of February.
Just gonna
All
put
right.
that out there. No, I do got to pick it up though. We can.
I will say
We
it
can
was
establish
also at this moment before this match, we start to hear the chants from Berkeley Nation of "We want Wes," in which I will say this becomes the time of the show where I have to then give them the countdown of how many matches they have.
Let 'em know.
until they have to do it, and then they're very good
It's
about
like
it.
New Year's, brother.
I did tell them wrong. I told them 2, and then I had to go back as I was taking everybody's gear back. I said, "I'm sorry, 3 guys, 3 matches, this one, and then 2," and that was all right. Then they were good. They're good. They behave well, and I also told them, "Hey, all these people were sitting here for the first half of the show. Don't stand in their way."
Vice president of the Berkeley Nation, Stephen Guy.
So they listen to me for some reason because the man West over there lets them know ahead of time.
Let 'em
Hey,
have it. You
Steve
got the
Guy-
mic. You make the
Steve
rules.
Guy tells you what to do.
The moderator of sorts.
I want
You
to
got it.
backtrack here real quick because Worldwide just got me fired up about something.
Let's rock.
Okay.
Because the podcast I wasn't on, there was some Steve Guy bashing, and in 2019, it's just not going to have it. John Thorne, how
Tell your boy.
was your birthday? Because this show was around your birthday.
My birthday was pretty non.
Did you get any kiss ass presents for your birthday?
Whoa.
Kiss ass or kick ass?
Kiss ass,
Whoa.
maybe / kick ass.
You know, the only I got 2 presents from members of the roster. One was from the Duke, and it was a regifted bottle of Tito's that he got at the company Christmas party.
Exposed.
And the other was from my good friend Swoggle. He got me a Rock and Jock basketball Method Man authentic jersey.
Woo! That's a pretty awesome idea for a gift for John Thorne, don't you guys think?
Ooh, that's fire.
Yeah. Who the fuck do you think told Swoggle to get you that gift?
Well, I mean, according to him, it was all
I'm assuming that one.
it was all his
Stephen
research.
Guy
That's right.
would have been the one. But Steve, why didn't you buy it? You gave Swallow the idea.
Oh, I don't have the Muppet and Leprechaun money
Come meet
to
me in Alaska,
afford that.
brother. We're
Steve
winning
Guy
saying?
wheeling and dealing, but apparently broke bad on the GGW deal. Laid low.
GG dub.
I didn't have the money to do that, but the question was posed to me: what sports teams does John Thorne like? And I said, none really. He just likes the Browns on Hard Knocks. And I said, hey man, if you can find him a Rock and Jock jersey, that's the route to
I
go.
like sports when it's like championship time and we
Yeah.
can go downtown and
You like the parties,
you can drink like open container at
Can't beat it.
downtown.
So
That's what I like.
Find him a Rock and Jock jersey. He'd love that. And then he came back with these are the options, and we narrowed it down. And we went with Method Man.
Good thing you went with Meth Man because I already got that Warren G.
I thought you did.
Yeah.
I thought so because that's
I'm-
what put it in my mind. I was like, I'm pretty sure he's got a Warren G.
I'm gonna have to get, now I'm gonna have to go to the gym a little earlier and get ready for that WrestleMania weekend, so I can.
You gonna wear
that.
tanks all Mania weekend? It's gonna be cold though in Jersey.
You don't know that, man. Vince McMahon could probably import sun.
I mean, he didn't
Yeah.
last time it was there.
He can
I know
afford-
that.
He can afford.
For sure.
He can afford.
Last time
to change the fucking weather. Like
Yeah.
the government controls it anyway.
it was
His-
awfully
his
chilly.
wa-
Hey,
His wife is in the cabinet.
That's
I'm
true.
Sure
right,
he's got,
she's pulling all the strings.
yeah. Come
That's
on.
I saw the McDonald's here. I was worried that Trump, sent a little package
I
over.
wish.
I
I
thought
wish.
Linda McMahon's doing some small business.
Well, he did send this over because last show we talked about certain somebody winning tag team gold, and that's what Trump buys for champions.
yeah,
Oh.
you're right. Good call.
Ah, man, I wish I could have figured out a way for Worldwide to have to go celebrate his championship at the White House. That would have
Wow.
been sick. All right, so
He just
where are
shakes
we
his
at?
head.
Where are we at?
I think we're
All right, so
we're at the tag
team
match.
champions.
speaking of tag team champions, they get defended in the next match.
Boy, did they ever.
I popped pretty hard at the change of entrance music. Now
That was weird by his
No
idea.
matter how
That was his idea before we knew and after.
how depressed that you were throughout the whole day, I thought that this was pretty funny.
Yeah, that's
Almost caused me to call the audible and have you guys keep, but
What'd you switch it to for this one?
We are the champions.
Oh, that's
Berkeley.
right. Yes, that was good. I enjoyed that too. That made me laugh quite a bit. You guys took your time coming to the ring with that.
Yeah, well, got to enjoy the
one last ride, right?
the minutes.
One
left
last
with the,
ride.
Beltskis.
One last ride.
But yeah, no, it was like fun, all things considered. Got to use a move I accidentally invented a few months ago.
Whoa.
Oh,
Apparently, I invented a pump handle power bomb.
Whoa.
Somebody on the Twitter.
You invented the move that female from the WWE NXT system's been using for the past 6 months.
What are you gonna
don't
name
worry
it?
about it.
What are you
Hey,
gonna name it?
White male mediocrity owns all. So yeah. Anyway, I invented this move,
What's it called?
and
I'm sorry. I
the world bomb.
Oh, like that. Called the Riptide.
I'm not from Rip City, bro. But either way, no.
somebody is.
I don't know. Every once in a while, I put a new stupid move into my repertoire, and then I fucking beat it to death. And then I figured out another move. One of these days, I'll figure out a way to mix them all in.
How many are you up to now?
I don't know. Maybe 6 or 7.
Wow, look at that.
Trying to think.
Yeah, I'm at about 3, so you got me on that.
Yeah, it's all right. I forget most of them.
Well, Wes, maybe
Hey,
if you came
well,
to
you-
practice.
Oh,
for the
there it
past
is.
three.
There it is.
All right.
Well, in the next match, we got to see those 3 moves put to use.
Hey,
Because-
we
Oh, I'm sorry, Worldwide. I didn't mean to cut you off there, buddy.
Oh, geez.
champ.
So, yeah, either way, I was
Continue
in the most
on.
dismal shit mood of all times all day long. And there was actually a point in time, because somebody catered it, like, on top of...
yeah, shout out to Kim, our fan.
There was Kim. Yes,
Yep.
thank you, Kim.
Thank
It
you.
was like, in order to get outside to smoke a cigarette, I had to walk through all the fans and stuff from the locker room. So, like, after a period of time when I was all geared up, that was just getting, like, really, like, stressful for me because I was just in a really bad place in my head. So, Kim had, supplied us with a bunch of broccoli and, other veggies and some sort of ranch dip. And
chicken salad sandwiches.
yeah. I ate a
are
couple
pretty-
of those.
those I
didn't
don't
realize that's
usually
what it
like
was.
to eat anything before I have a match. I like to just strictly liquid or smoothies. Just keeping it, move out whatever I had the day before, and then not to put too much back in. But that's just how I do it. But either way, I was nervous, so I was just munching extra hard on some carrots, and Cheech came up to me probably 45 minutes an hour before the match. It was like, "Are you fucking ready for this?" And I was like, "You have to get through." He's like, "Just tell me you're ready." And I was like, "I'm fucking ready. I guarantee nothing after the match, but I'm fucking ready for the match." And he's like, "All right, that's all I need to hear." And yeah, we had a good time.
Nice.
And they got up to their devious fucking mischievous bullshit, and we were robbed. And
Ooh.
what else is there to say? But you know what? I was there, and a lot of people thought we'd never be there. So
You were there once. You can't change the record books.
nope, it's
right.
on Cage Match.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, that's where I looked it up right here. And
And I'm with Duke because Cage Match doesn't record a lot of matches that happen.
There
But-
you go. Yeah, actually, nobody
BPCW uncovered.
nobody put down the 4-way match.
Bachelor Party
that Dom was
Championship
in.
Wrestling, Birthday Party
Oh,
Championship
wow.
Wrestling.
Check the tapes.
Even
So-
other companies that, like, you know, just drive us to fucking insanity are not included on Cage Match. But
Okay, let's move on to the next match.
Well-
WES Wes Barkley here.
So wait, real quick. One of the things I forgot about this venue is that we didn't really have we put up the curtains and everything so that we had a locker room and backstage area, but
It's all in the same room.
it's all in the same room. But there's no extra restroom. Everybody you guys had to go to the bathroom. Guys are going into the bathroom with the fans in their gear.
same in a lot of buildings.
Yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do?
But that's just another, Mount Carmel. We're so kind of spoiled with that.
I miss
a
him.
completely
One time I
separate thing.
peed next to Jimmy Olsen,
What's that?
and he was in full gear.
You did?
Yeah.
What, at the West Park Party Center?
At the arena.
Oh, at the arena.
Yeah.
I love
But I
Jimmy.
feel like I saw him at the West Park
I
Party
love
Center,
Jimmy
too, sneaking
Olsen.
around.
Jimmy Olsen is like one of my all-time favorite guys ever in pro wrestling.
All right. So Wes Barkley,
Jimmy Jam. Yes, sir. That's me.
Barkley Nation taking on Tim Donce.
Tim Donche. Finally got my hands on him. 6 months in the making.
Let's talk about the lead up to this.
Yeah.
I mean,
6 months in the making.
You were calling in all the favors for
Yep.
for this.
Had
You
to.
cut some great promos with
Thank
the
you.
green screen behind you.
Appreciate
and
it.
then you reached out to some celebrities that you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that.
Riff. Yeah. Thanks. Appreciate the
Let's
compliment.
start.
on the
We'll start with
promos and whatnot.
the whole starting point of this is
Yeah.
your debut.
Debut.
J-Lit Weekend.
I think it was the match before me.
Yep, he comes out.
Donce was wrestling AJ Gray. He gets on the mic. He was talking a little smack about Barkley Nation. He was talking a little smack about
Got right
me.
in their face, gave him the finger.
Yep.
Yeah.
Check the tapes. So I've been waiting to get my hands on him, and finally, I put out the open challenge, and Donce accepted it.
He
Then
said,
then it was go time, And I mean, shout out to Riff Raff, my dude, Jody High Roller, calling in that Ohio Nets shout out.
Yeah.
Pack that place, Barkley Nation, let's rock. So they were there, but I don't know. Maybe I was a little too excited to get my hands on him. I was a little nervous going in there. It's a big match.
Sure.
New
I
venue.
honestly think that we cracked the code on it during this podcast.
Yeah.
He ain't been going to training, man.
All right.
Game.
Yeah,
You're a little rusty.
I'm lacking. Yeah. I'm lacking and I'm slacking. That's, because I said no excuses.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, brother.
For sure.
Yeah.
Shout out to Wayne Gretzky.
And Michael Scott.
Yeah. So, that's probably it because, I was close to winning, but I didn't win. And, we're not making
Just-
excuses in 2019.
Yeah,
We're
just imagine going to practice maybe 3-4 times before that match, and you might have Tim Donce's number.
Oh, the impact from the Maserati driver if you're practicing it and getting it down to
Muscle memory.
the 110%
right.
that it should be. Yeah.
Yeah, we're rocking and rolling. That's the other
the
my,
green
another
screen
resolution was rock and roll all night and party every day. So
the green screen
We're
can't
getting
win you
Frankie
matches.
Flynn. But no, you put a lot. You've done amazing work in the promoting realm. But
Thank you.
when we bring up as much time promoting
Sure.
as you training,
Yeah.
I think sky's the limit for you, man.
Can't
Thank you.
can't win a
Appreciate
match
that.
on the green screen.
Appreciate that.
Let's not graze over Frankie Flynn's attempt to incorporate the Wes Barkley promo method.
Whoa.
And he painted his face up like Kiss.
Did he paint it like Kiss?
Yeah, for UXWA.
Oh, like Paul Stanley?
And he put on these crazy ass cuts. Worldwide, you're gonna have to go step out and take a look at
I
this.
saw the cuts. I didn't see the Kiss makeup.
You deleted your Facebook, so you missed all this.
You still got the Twitter? It's on there.
But yeah, anyway, so sky's the limit for old Wes Barkley
Thank
if he
you.
could show up.
All right.
You might be as good as Angel of the Baldies one day.
Whew.
Wow.
At least it's not the other angel. XPW.
Oh, I mean, XPW Angel.
He was all right, but that's not who I strive to be,
Where are we at next?
All right, so next we go into our championship match, the absolute title. Hot Sauce Tracy Williams taking on a guy that returns home to Cleveland and to AIW, M-Dog Nat Cross. Always good to see him. And Grandma Cross made her appearance.
M-Dog said this was his only advertised appearance in Cleveland in the entire year of 2018.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Because the only other time I think that we were able to get him, it was a surprise in the one scramble.
We were
And that Ultimate
talking to him
Dragon show.
after, and he said he spent like 2 or 3 months total overseas.
Yeah, like
Last year, which
he's
is
always
so
doing
crazy.
crazy international shit.
Yeah, he spent a lot of time in air. I'm sure if he added all that up.
He's probably got a lot of miles.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is just one of those, one of those odd matches that you're probably not going to see anywhere else. M Dog, I think in the city of Cleveland is always a contender no matter what.
Definitely.
Let's.
It's the Grandma Cross show still.
You love seeing Grandma Cross show up. I think everybody does,
I
right?
mean, that's what I was about to say Matt Cross is scary and everything, and he's a hell of a contender, but Grandma Cross ain't nothing to fuck with.
Yeah, and I mean,
She almost
straight
fight
up.
Tracy Williams?
She did. When
Yeah.
this match ended, Tracy Williams wanted to shake her hand, make peace,
she tried to fight him.
and she wanted to fight him. She
She
was
tried
going
to fight
climb
me one
over the
time when I
ramp.
was selling beer at Mount Carmel. Didn't understand the tickets. I was like, "You gotta get your tickets," and then she was like, "Ah!" and just threw down $5, and I gave her 3 beers.
Alleged-
I don't want none.
Did she have her
Allegedly.
foam sword.
Allegedly.
Yep.
Allegedly.
But it was I think it was what you anticipate from these two at this point. You're going to get a good match out of Hot Sauce. You're going to get one out of Matt Cross. You throw them together, and why not?
Absolutely. And I think it's one that everyone should go out of their way to see because, like I said, it's not like a match that you're gonna really run into anywhere else.
Right. Absolutely. And then it's main event time.
I mean, we could I'm not gonna break down this match. What I could say is it was crazy to see. It's not there's a locker room sellout, but it wasn't a locker room sellout. It was a crowd sellout. Like everybody that was left in the locker room, including myself, myself and Josh Prohibition just walked out into the crowd and just at that point, everyone kind of I think nobody was a wrestler anymore or involved in wrestling. It was such a surreal moment to see Masato Tanaka walk down the AIW entranceway, and the ramp or whatever. But it's myself and Josh Prohibition just went out, and it was outside of it being AIW, it was we morphed back into 1999.
You're like
You
kids
know.
going to ECW.
And it was that's all that I could really I even really want to say about the match because and it wasn't just me and Josh Prohibition.
It was everybody.
If you look throughout the crowd,
I was
every
standing with you and Josh.
yeah
watching it.
every wrestler was just standing in the crowd, just in complete awe of the fact that Masato Tanaka was not only wrestling in America again, because it had been several years since he's wrestled in America, but it was it was just just a surreal thing, and I don't know how long the match was. I don't care. It was 100% worth every penny that it cost.
I was gonna say the shape he was in, what he did, it was worth the fans' money. It was worth your money bringing him in.
Right.
Definitely.
And that's, you don't always get to say that necessarily about certain things or certain names when you bring them in. But this guy Masato Tanaka exceeded everything that I think we wanted out of him.
Yeah, that match was sick.
So then we roll to the after party. That's old
I
Max.
did not roll to the after party, and that was twofold.
Uh-huh.
A, I was in my miserable bad place, and B, weeks before the fucking show, when I thought maybe, this title reign was going to last a little bit past the first defense, I was like, you know what? I'm going to be dawn to dusk on the ring truck at this show. And, first show as champion, I'm going to, fucking take everything back to the unit, take the truck back, do the whole deal all day long, just to set an example for all the students and
That's
this
good.
and that. And as it was, all the students maybe just learned, oh, the sad guy lost his title and did ring crew with us. So don't take that lesson if you're listening, you little fucking shits, because you did real good the other week, and keep that up.
Hell yeah.
My only complaint about you fucking little freaks is just make the chairs touch each other when you're setting up chairs. Don't be afraid to have the chairs fucking touch each other. In the goddamn arena, fucking in the queue, at the fucking stadium, they're all fucking touching each other. Just make the fucking... But either way,
Hey.
but yeah. So we were done with everything by like fucking shit, like 12:31, and yeah,
I was gonna say this show ended at a great time. I think we ended about 10:30, 10:45.
yeah, somewhere in there. And yeah, we were done like with like the truck and everything by like 12:31, somewhere in there. And I could have went to the after party, but I didn't. But like I said, that was actually less by depression and more by design. And I just stuck to the plan, miserably so. And Weird Body, I think, went to the after party. But anyway, yeah, go on.
Oh yeah, he was out. He was
Oh yeah,
wilding out.
he was.
So the after party was good. I bought
was partying.
Facade birthday shot. And
I
then-
did too.
And we hung out with our friends, the Goldstein brothers.
Great dudes.
It's good to see them, and we'll see them in New York,
Yes, sir.
New Jersey. They love the shout outs, so I want to make sure we
Here's another shout
give
out.
them.
Shout out to the,
They bought us a couple drinks.
to the
I bought them a couple drinks too. They'd earned it, you know.
Yeah,
Definitely.
and
Great dudes.
so there ended up being 2 after parties on this night because I'm standing there talking to them, and I start getting pulled and told that we're going to a different location. And I rolled out because Eddie Kingston was sleeping at my house that night. So we left and met up with the Duke and Swoggle at a place usually reserved for business meetings because that's where they wanted to go.
And I declined because I
You
wanted to
declined.
support our sponsored after party. Unlike you fucking turncoats.
I mean,
Ooh.
I wanted to do the same,
Nice.
but I was getting drawn out, and I had to make sure that they didn't get into too much trouble. Which,
moderator of sorts.
yeah, also sometimes babysitter of sorts.
There you go.
That happens. And it turns out we failed anyway because this was also the night that so the Duke took Swoggle.
Yeah.
He was riding with him because they're a new pair. They're best friends these days. And Swoggle booked himself a hotel. Remember this, John Thorne?
Oh, this. So I forgot about this, but I didn't go and participate in this. I just hung with my boys, Mance, MJF. You know, I was hanging in the heel locker room at Nax, and I kept saying, "Swoggle, just come back." You know, it was packed for a while. Then, kind of thinned out, and it was just the boys pretty much, and. Anyway, he's off doing whatever the fuck you guys are doing at the strip club. And then he was like, I'm coming. I'm not coming. He's like, I got a hotel. And I was like, why did you get a hotel? I'm going,
That's what I said too. He was with me.
I'm going to my house. You're with Steve. If you want to come to my house, you could sleep on my couch. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. He's like, I got a hotel. Don't worry about it. And then
Well, so here's what happens. He's
like, oh, fuck, it's the wrong hotel.
he books he says he books the airport Radisson or something. It's the airport hotel. I was like, oh, well, that airport one is actually out in North Olmsted. And Duke says, that's on my way home. I'll give you a ride. Next thing you know, John Thorne and I both being texted. That's the wrong hotel. He took me to the wrong hotel. Duke left him there
Oh wow.
because he
They
was
probably
already.
went to Wolfie's before too. Grabbed a couple.
They probably
drinks before
did.
it closed.
So Duke
Shout out
leaves
to
him there.
Wolfies.
We're getting blown up.
So
And-
yeah, like I get home and I just go to bed, and then like
Didn't we get Steak and Shake
yeah, I think we went to Steak and Shake till like 5
with
in the
Bev
morning,
and Justice and Bishop?
and that fucking weird Kenny Wayne guy, Kenny Wayne's buddy.
Yeah. Was there someone else there?
I don't probably, and so anyway, Swoggle hits me up and it was like, hey, can you come get me?
There's no shuttle. As
There's
well,
no
he finds
shuttle,
out.
and I was like,
when he
where
does
are-
get to the correct one.
I was like, where are you? And he's like, I'm at the whatever it was, like the Sheraton or something on like Prospect.
Oh,
And I'm like,
wow.
He's in
something.
downtown Cleveland.
And I'm like, what?
Oh my
He's like
God.
directly across from the queue. And I'm like, this is the last thing I want to do is wake up on no fucking sleep and drive all the way downtown and pick this guy up and then drive all the way to the fucking airport. Like, it was such a hassle. But I did it, and then he made off with Masato Tanaka's whiskey when he was digging through my trunk, and I mean, that was pretty much that.
Whiskey's not what he needs. So, anything exciting happen at the after party there? You guys? Besides
No,
Steak and Shake?
ours was pretty mellow.
Just played ECW themes.
Yeah, playing ECW things, drinking, buying shots.
Nice. I had a house full of Eddie Kingston, Old Mance Warner, and MJF made their way over to the spot. Some new house guests. It's nice. No drinking games, though. And that did it for 2018 AIW.
That's it.
It was an awesome year.
It was.
We'll see
Amazing year.
We'll see what 2019 holds, as we talked about last week.
We'll see if we can survive.
Which
can't
was
wait.
even though
We're tearing it up.
we're already going into some uncharted territory here in 2019. Still happy with how 2018 turned out.
Hey man, it's any day above ground, as they say. You know what I mean? Like any day that the company is still going and it's not hemorrhaging money, I'll take it.
Well, there you go. So for the entire group here, for Worldwide, for Dom Guarini, for Wes Barkley, for John Thorne, my name's Steve Guy, and we'll talk to you next week right here on AIW's The Card is Going to Change.